what is the Seconda Prattica and what is the main difference between the Prima Prattica and the Seconda Prattica? Let's answer this question by Charlie. Welcome to this new video. I'm Riccardo, Musicus Practicus, and here on the web I teach all the world Renaissance and Baroque music as if you had lived in the Renaissance. Now, we have one question by Charlie here about Seconda Prattica. We are here on Patreon, on our community on Patreon, where I invite you to join because you can learn every day something new about early music. I post exclusive contents, videos, and lessons that you cannot see elsewhere. So do like Charlie, join Patreon, and you can even post some interesting questions where I'll answer your questions. Okay, so. The question is, hello again community, I was reading the counterpoint chapter of child composers in the old conservatories by Gjerdingen, and he talks about the Seconda Prattica counterpoint. He calls it the collocations counterpoint, contrary to the Prima Prattica counterpoint, the species counterpoint. The term Seconda Prattica has been controversial in musicology and history, but there is no real through explanation about it. Could you explain about this, Riccardo? Especially, could you tell more about Monteverdi's style? I once read that he invented Seconda Prattica. I think this is his most beautiful tune. Okay, this one, this melody. Okay, in order to talk about Seconda Prattica, we have to read what Monteverdi wrote about Seconda Prattica, because it's true that the term Seconda Prattica is something invented by Monteverdi. So let's do this. We have to check, we have to take the original scores, and we are in this book. Exactly. This book is the part book of a very important collection, so the fifth book of madrigals, where the first madrigale is Cruda, Amarilli. The reason of this is that Monteverdi got a lot of criticism, but Artusi, Giovanni Maria Artusi, which is here somewhere, but then we'll read this, wrote a book called L'Artusi, so a book with his name. This one, Artusi was a very nice man with a very nice mind, but it's very old oriented. And in this book called L'Artusi, or Le imperfezioni della moderna musica, so the imperfections of modern music, he talks a lot about imperfections of modern music. So how modern composers, modern of this period, so we are in 1603, so at the beginning of the 17th century, about a lot of pieces. Now, for example, if we search the word, let's do trova nella pagina Amarilli, he's talking about Amarilli by Monteverdi, in saying, for example, alla dubitazione poi del madrigale Cruda Amarilli, io non so come possa cadere nell'animo a vostra signoria che sia d'altro tuono che del settimo, essendo ad ognuno notissimo che dalle prime e poscia dalle finali corde si deve dare il giudizio del tuono e non dalle medie cadenze, e perciò so essere a lei notissimo, ne rimetto ancora la cognizione e la decisione a ciò che, disputandosi di cosa tanto leggera, di noi non si dica di nuovo lo proposto da lei moto. In other words, here there are a lot of criticism about this composition, Cruda Amarilli. Let's find another point which is more interesting here. And in order to translate this, let's ask our help to Musicus GPT. So let's start. Let's say hello to Musicus GPT. Hello Musicus GPT, how are you? Hello Musicus GPT, are you with us?
Hey Richardus, yep, I'm here, ready whenever you are.
Perfect. So I'll tell you in Italian text, you have to translate it in English. Ok?
Got it.
Perfect.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Nel madrigale Cruda Amarilli, qual tono si osserva? Non so se sia del settimo ordinario o del duodecimo, perché tante sono le cadenze dell'uno quanto dell'altro che per entro vi sono, però quando considero il principio, il mezzo e il fine non ritrovo altro che una confusione di cose tutte poste insieme. Orsù, per conclusione, ho portato a vostra signoria che in questa musica non v'è né può essere nuovo concetto, non v'è né può essere nuovo affetto. Lei mi dice che è lontana dalle traduzioni degli antichi eccellenti musici. Che cosa ci può essere dunque di buono se fugge le tradizioni degli antichi e antichi eccellenti?
Sure. Here's the English translation. All right, here's the translation. In the madrigal Cruda Amarilli, what tone is observed? I am uncertain whether it is the 7th mode or the 12th, because there are cadences from both. However, when I consider the beginning, middle, and end, I find nothing but a confusion of things all jumbled together. In conclusion, I presented to your lordship that in this music there is no new harmony, nor any new affection. You told me that it is far from the traditions of the ancient and excellent musicians. What good can there be then if it departs from those traditions?
Okay, and this is what Artusi says about this madrigal by Monteverdi. Now, this madrigal actually it's very hard. I mean, it's very hard in terms of for the years of a musician of that period. It's really hard to understand. So let's listen to this madrigal and then let's see what Monteverdi replies to Artusi. Okay, and this is the performance of this madrigale. Now, what we have to do consists in analyzing the answer by Monteverdi. So, now with the help of our Musicus GPT, let's go to the fifth book of madrigals, where the first madrigal is Cruda Amarilli, and let's read what Monteverdi writes here exactly, which is this one. Let's see. It should be there. Okay, at the end. To the studiosi lettori. This one, we talk about Seconda Prattica. Now, let's start. Hello Musicus GPT, okay? Now I'll tell you another text to translate in English, okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Perfect. Non vi meravigliate ch'io dia alle stampe questi madrigali senza prima rispondere alle opposizioni che fece l'Artusi contro alcune minime particelle d'essi, perché send'io al servigio di questa serenissima altezza di Mantova non son patrone di quel tempo che talora mi bisognerebbe. Ho non di meno scritta la risposta per far conoscere che io non faccio le mie cose a caso e tosto che sia riscritta userà in luce portando in fronte il nome di Seconda Prattica, ovvero perfezione della moderna musica, del che forse alcuni si ammireranno, non credendo che vi sia altra pratica che l'insegnata dal Zarlino.
Alright, here's the translation. Do not be surprised that I'm publishing these madrigals without first responding to the criticisms Artusi made against some minor elements within them. Because if I'm in the service of the most serene highness of Mantua, I do not have command over the time that such a reply would require. Nevertheless, I've written a response to show that I don't do things at random, and as soon as it's ready, it will come to light, bearing the name Seconda Prattica, or the perfection of modern music. Some may be amazed, not believing there could be any other practice than that taught by Zarlino.
Ma siano sicuri che intorno alle consonanze e dissonanze vi è anche un'altra considerazione differente dalla determinata, la qual conto dirvi sì perché questa voce, seconda prattica, talora non fosse occupata da altri. Sì, perché anche gli ingegnosi possano, frattanto, considerare altre seconde cose intorno all'armonia e credere che il moderno compositore fabbrica sopra gli fondamenti della verità. Vivete felici.
Here's the translation. Be assured that regarding consonances and dissonances, there is another consideration beyond what has been determined, which I wish to share with you. This term Seconda Prattica has not been occupied by others, and creative minds can meanwhile consider other aspects of harmony and believe that the modern composer builds upon foundations of truth. Live happily.
Okay, so what's happening is that Monteverdi is replying to Artusi. Artusi, who wrote the book delle imperfezioni, so about the imperfections of modern music, and Monteverdi said that this Seconda Prattica actually is about perfection of modern music. What does it mean? That the use of the dissonance, the use of things outside of the standard rule that you learn in counterpoint, so the Prima Prattica, the old practice, the first. When we talk about, that's another thing which is important. Prima and Seconda in Italian, first and second, does not mean necessarily that the second one excludes the first one. No. There is the Prima Prattica, the first level and the second level. Imagine the Seconda Prattica in terms of once you learn the rule, you can now start composing in another way, breaking those rules for other purposes. In this case, Monteverdi used a lot of dissonances and passages that you can analyze in the Madrigal Cruda Amarilli, which are very hard according to the rules of counterpoint. In fact, this is another thing which actually I don't like so much. Artusi, because of the authority of Monteverdi, now seems like an hassle, but actually Artusi was a very nice musician and composer. He even wrote a very interesting book about counterpoint, which is this one, L'arte del contrappunto, del reverendo Giovanni Maria Artusi da Bologna, from Bologna. And this is a very well done book about counterpoint, very schematic, where it's not a treatise with a lot of chapters and words, but they are tables with then even later musical examples, or is organized in diagrams which are very well made. Now let's hope that the browser does not refresh. Okay, it's refreshing. By the way, I'll put all these links here in the description. And so what is the Seconda Prattica? Is a new way of conceiving musical composition, not only based on the rules of counterpoint and in order to do not do any mistake, but in terms of even breaking rules when we want to express something particular. Okay, of course, consciously. Many people can say, okay, we like to break the rules, but they do not know the rules. They like to do modern compositions, but they do not know how to compose in a correct way. So the Seconda Prattica, the second practice, is something you apply once you already master the counterpoint, the harmony, the Seconda Prattica. And the Prima Prattica, the first practice, the first level. Prattica means the way of doing things, the practice, okay, the practice of the music. This is the first level, partimenti and rules. Then the second level, rhetoric and other things which are more vague and not necessarily and very specifically meticulous, okay, only based on the rules. This is the Seconda Prattica. And in fact, if you analyze the fifth book of Madrigali by Monteverdi, you can find a lot of things that, according to the rules of that period, are literally outside of the style. This is actually a very interesting book that we can read after Lorenzo Penna's. Now we are reading on YouTube and even on Patreon. Lorenzo Penna, I primi albori musicali, the second part about counterpoint, with our Musicus GPT, which is translating very well for us all the sections. But after Lorenzo Penna, we could read this book, which is very, very, very nice. I really like this. So, very interesting question by Charlie from Mexico. Nice, because it's something which requires to read the original sources about this. So the book by the criticism by Artusi, and the reply, the answer by Claudio Monteverdi. And if you want to learn music, Renaissance and Baroque music, join our Patreon, because you can find a lot of other resources and we can go more in depth, even on other historical aspects which can, you ask me some questions and I take the opportunity to talk about some specific things. And then on Patreon you have something to learn every day, for example this video, but even other videos, other elements, other topics, and is the best place where you can learn music exactly as if you had lived in the Renaissance or in the Baroque. In this case, we are in the Renaissance. See you! Sometimes it takes very little to improve, just a little, but every day. You look at a sheet of music and it seems like a random collection of notes, and now you can't connect them. But if you know how to reveal the meaning and the connection between the notes, you can discover magical and wonderful paths hidden among the melodies and harmonies. You sit at the keyboard, but you don't know where to start composing or improvising a piece. But if you know the right techniques, even just with a few compositional elements, you can create something wonderful. You study a piece, you can play it technically well, but don't understand what's happening harmony and counterpoint wise. But if you change the perspective with which you read and play those notes, you can literally change the way you see them. That's actually a kind of magic. Every month, every week and every day you can have something special and valuable like this. Video analysis, a lot of PDFs analysis and handouts of pieces to truly understand what's happening in each passage, in each piece. Improvisation elements like this of the other day of how to improvise a fugue. Practical exercises to learn how to compose music and how to become better at improvising. Fugues, chorale, freeforms and more. Composition and improvisation pills to discover how the great composers crafted certain passages and learn to imitate them correctly. All of this on Patreon. So much content to explore, so much to learn, and many preview projects to discover. Go to this link, choose the best level for you, and start your adventure.